All right, hi guys. Welcome to video 2. I am so happy to have you here. Hopefully you enjoyed video 1 and now we are moving on. So this is just another video in this series and there will be one more coming after this. So this video is slightly more advanced, just a little more challenging. Definitely great for those who may have been practicing for a touch of time or who are looking for a little bit more of a challenge. So if you did video 1 and you liked it and you're looking to challenge yourself just a little bit more, both physically and mentally, then video 2 will be great. So we'll start down on the floor today. So we're gonna lie down on our backs and you can do that when you are ready. So laying all the way down onto the floor, allowing the legs to go really long and the palms to do so as well. So the hands are down by your sides. Go ahead and allow the palms to turn up, so facing towards the sky. Let the feet flap open. You can go ahead and close the eyes if you haven't done so already. Just settling in here, beginning to take up space on your mat and allowing your breath to deepen. Slowly walk your palms over your belly, right in and around the space where your belly button is. Allow the palms to spread open over that space. And then with your next inhale, drawing air into the belly. So actually filling that space so much so that you begin to feel your palms rise just slightly. And then exhale and fully release, allowing the abdominals to contract. Starting again, inhaling, filling that space, opening up, palms expand, and exhale. Good, we'll stay here with that for just a couple rounds. Drawing the air into the belly, filling that space, and exhale, and release. And take a couple more rounds here. Really noticing whatever is coming up for you. Paying attention to physical sensations and non-physical sensations. And if it feels right for you at this time, pausing for a moment to set an intention for your practice, something that you'd like to think about or focus on as you move today. And then when you're ready, you can slowly release the hands back down to the floor, turning the hands so that the palms face forward, face all the way up towards the sky. You can open your eyes if you'd like at this point, otherwise you can keep them closed, totally fine. It's kind of a cool sensation to feel the body from the inside versus trying to watch it from the outside. So we're gonna start drawing the attention to the body, activating everything before we start moving, which means you're gonna flex your feet. So pull those toes all the way up towards the sky and allow the feet to flex, right? So the ankles are really active and the heels are actually pushing into the floor. And we're gonna keep that sensation going all the way up through the calves. So the calves are pressing into the mat and then all the way, keep going. So knees probably won't touch, but it's totally fine if they do. thighs can come down to the floor, right? So back side of those thighs, really, really active. Keep moving, so hanging on to everything else that you still have, and then engage those glutes, and you'll probably feel the hips move forward, right? Totally fine here. Super, super active through that bum. Low back probably isn't gonna touch, totally fine, but it's okay if it does. And then let's get that torso. So the area where the rib cage is down to the floor. So you'll probably want to engage your abdominals and drawing that space down, which will flatten out some of the back and allow the rib cage to make contact. Good, keep going all the way into those shoulders. So shoulders are really, really active here. Drawing the shoulders up and down and back, and then pressing them into the floor. And take that sensation and let it travel down through the hands. So don't forget about those feet. Feet are still active. And now we're taking the sensation and drawing it into the hands. So back side of the hands are pressing, forearms are pressing, upper arm is pressing, shoulders are really active. Keep pulling those shoulder blades back and down together. And then when you're ready, let it travel all the way up. Neck probably won't touch. And into the back of the head. So the back of the head is pressing into the floor, pushing everything in. Everything's really active. Take a big ol' inhale. Inhale a lot. Exhale. One more. Good. And then exhale and slowly release and just pause for a moment. Notice that how that feels slightly different than when you first laid down. Notice whatever is coming up for you. Inside, outside, physical, non-physical. Good, and then when you're ready, we're gonna start with a little bit of abdominal work. So when you're ready, bending the knees, placing the feet flat on the floor. We're gonna tuck the tailbone under. So flattening out the small of the back and pressing it into the floor so that the abdominals engage, right? You might even walk your fingertips onto the top of your abdominals and feel that engagement. Belly button comes into the spine so everything is super engaged. Reaching with the fingertips here, tucking the chin, allowing the torso to come up. So shoulders float towards the heels. Fingertips reach for the heels. Pressing the small of the back down into the floor. So keep that sensation going. Inhales and exhales. Drawing all the way up. Good, and then we'll do one more here. You're gonna leave it up there. So all the way up and hold that space. Legs are gonna reach up towards the sky. So pointing the toes. If it gets to be too much, you can always put the shoulders back down on the floor. Otherwise, you're drawing up. One leg at a time is gonna reach down towards the mat, trying not to let the foot actually touch the floor and just hovering above. So again, if this gets to be too much, you can always take it to a lesser degree. So maybe you're only moving 45 degrees down, or maybe 30 degrees down, or maybe you release the shoulders back down towards the floor. Either one is totally fine. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Working through that space. Let's go one more either side. Big reach and other leg. Awesome. And then both legs come up together, releasing the torso back down to the floor. Both legs are going to go down towards the floor. So heels are reaching. Yes, good. Inhales and exhales. Same option here. So the heels are reaching for the floor, but they don't actually have to touch it. So maybe they just go down 30 degrees. Or maybe they just go down 45 degrees, and that is totally fine. Big reach here. Good. And all the way back. Inhales, exhales. Awesome. Just a couple more here. We're trying to warm up that midsection. Awesome. And last one. Good. All the way back up. Give yourself a little squeeze. Draw those knees into the chest. Awesome. You can open the knees or keep them together. Either one is totally fine. Rocking back and forth, left to right. Or maybe making circles. Good. If you're making circles with your thighs, just make sure you're going in both directions. And then when you're ready, we're going to work into those glutes. So sending the feet back down to the floor. Feet are flat. Good. Just about hip width apart. Fingertips can be down by the sides. Or you might even go with robot arms. So sort of bending the elbow and sending the fingertips straight up. And with your next exhale, you're going to lift your hips. So drawing the hips all the way up. Squeeze the bum. And then slowly release back down to the floor. Just making sure that the bum doesn't rest on the floor, right? Totally fine for it to touch Good, but it's not gonna rest. Inhale all the way down. Exhale all the way back up. Beautiful. Keep that going. We're gonna move it onto a single leg in just a moment. If the single leg gets to be too much, no worries. You can always bring it back down to the double. Let's go last one here. Bring it all the way up. Good, you're gonna keep it and then walk that one foot in. Let's go left leg down, right leg is gonna come up. Reach the leg up towards the sky, and now you're lifting and lowering with just that single leg. If it gets to be too much with the leg reaching up towards the sky, feel free to cross the ankle over, which will give you a little more support, and then you can reach from that space. Otherwise, the leg stays long. Good, last two here. Reaching all the way up. You're gonna leave those legs up there and go ahead and switch it out. Right foot down, left leg up. Beautiful, other side. Nice and steady. Use your breath to help. Try to keep those hands super active and light, which means that they aren't necessarily pushing into the floor, right? We want to use the glute strength to get the hips to come up, not from driving our hands into the floor. Good, last two here, reach. Good, one more, all the way up. Starting back, leg releases, both feet, and then slowly lower down. Awesome, pause for a moment. Check in. Notice what's coming up for you. Beautiful, and then draw the knees into the chest. Inhaling, exhaling. Good, just taking a moment. And then we're gonna inhale and start to rock and roll. If rocking and rolling doesn't feel good to you, no worries, you can simply just sit up. If it does, you're rocking back and forth. So making sure that you don't go onto your head or your neck. Otherwise, you can find that space back and forth. Good. And let's see if we can do a little hold up at the top. So next time you come up, I want you to see if you can hang out up there and stay. Yeah, beautiful. Good. Big reach. Awesome. And then exhale. Everything comes down to the floor. Go ahead and flip yourself over. Onto all fours. Shoulders are stacked. Hips are over the knees. Inhale, pull that belly button down towards the floor. Press with your palms and gaze up. And then exhale and round the back. And tuck the tailbone. Tuck the chin. Good. Inhaling. Exhaling. Moving at your own pace here. Take a couple of rounds. Big inhales, big exhales. Let your breath determine your movement. Doing whatever feels best for you. One more full round. Inhale a lot. Good, maybe a little extra wiggle. And then exhale. Awesome. You're gonna tuck your toes up into that funky plank shape from the first space. So toes are gonna get tucked under, palms are down. You're gonna hover those knees just for a breath or two. Reaching here. Beautiful. Inhales, exhales, neck is long, gaze is straight. One more. Good, and then exhale and pike. Reaching all the way up, maybe moving your hands and your feet if that feels better for you. First downward facing dog of the practice. Doing whatever feels good to you. So pedal out those heels, or bend your knees, or reach with one arm, and then the other arm across the body. Lovely. One more breath. And then when you're ready, you can step that right foot forward. Right foot is gonna come to the front, left heel is gonna come down. Heel to heel alignment here. So coming into a warrior one, we're gonna line those heels all the way up, turning the torso towards the front, bending the front knee, and reaching with the palms. So super tall here. Let me show you from the front. Right foot is forward, left heel is back, finding that alignment. Beautiful. Big reach all the way up. Torso is really tall, fingertips extending up towards the sky. Crown of the head reaching. Excellent. Turn your palms to face the front. You're going to exhale into cacti arms. Drawing those elbows all the way back. Good. Inhale, exhale, lovely. Inhale, exhale, wonderful. One more. And then we're gonna lean forward, 45-degree lean. Keeping those arms at cacti, now you're at 45 degrees. Nice deep bend to the front knee. And now reach, drawing that belly button into the spine, keeping those abdominals engaged. Drawing the fingertips all the way up and overhead. Making sure those legs stay active. Last one, inhale, exhale. Beautiful, coming back up to center. Oh, excellent, exhale. Reach with the hands, you're gonna take a step into your Utkatasana. Both feet to the front of the mat. Beautiful, and have a seat. Hips are back, toes are active, beautiful, sitting, big inhales, big exhales. Reaching with the fingertips. And then when you're ready, you're gonna shift that body weight over onto the right leg, coming into a warrior three. Standing on that right side and pushing that left leg back. Bouncing for a moment. Big inhale, big exhale. One more. And then slowly release. Take a huge step back. Left foot is gonna step back, coming back into that warrior one. Inhale a lot. And exhale, palms to the floor. Right leg steps back. You'll be in plank. Let's take it through. Knees to the floor. Half of a push-up, slowly lowering down. Slide through. Good, finding that cobra shape. Palms are down, elbows are back, point your toes. And then exhale, press through your palms, lift the hips, and find downward facing dog. One breath here. And then that left leg can step up and through. Left leg coming to the front. Right heel comes down. Beautiful. Nice deep bend through the front knee. Pressing firmly through that back leg. Inhaling a lot, reaching up for the sky. And then exhale, start those cacti arms. Yes. Inhale. Exhale. Big reach here. Last one, and we'll take that forward fold. Big reach. Draw it down. Folding forward. Back is flat, 45 degrees. Now reach for the sky. Yeah. Belly button in. Exhale as you pull to you. Almost like you're climbing up a big old wall. Good, big reach. Exhale, last one. Inhale, come on up. Reaching with the arms, take a step to the front. You'll find that Utkatasana, so stepping the right foot forward to meet the left foot, drawing the shoulders back, and pausing for a moment, breathing here. Inhale, and exhale. One more. Good, and finding that way into that warrior three. Left leg is firm, right leg goes back. Reaching, extending, focusing. One more. And again, take that huge step backwards, finding your way, making your way into that warrior one. One last time. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, palms to the floor. Left leg steps back. Beautiful. When you're ready, knees, chest, and chin. Gorgeous. Finding that cobra shape. Palms are right by the chest. Bum is engaged. Toes are pointed, legs are lifted. And we're going to hover everything off the floor. Fully engaging the back side. Good, and then when you're ready, exhale, press and tuck. On that next inhale, go ahead and step the right foot forward. Right foot coming to the front, left heel will come down. Allow those heels to line up so you can press firmly into your warrior one. Again, Virabhadrasana one. Excellent. Keeping the torso tall and the fingertips reaching. You're going to exhale the hands out into that cacti shape again, and then you're going to rotate over to the right. So trying to hold that cactus shape the whole entire time. Yes, as you twist, right? So using the musculature of the body to twist, as opposed to just sort of throwing the arms open, right, to come into that twist. Big reach. One more inhale. Excellent. Spinning back to the front, finding that base, and then reaching towards the sky as you take a step. Again, stepping both feet up to the front. Beautiful. I'm going to show you from the front so you can see. We're going to exhale the hands to prayer without letting the shoulders or the elbows touch any other part of the body. You're going to rotate over. So really similar to what we did with those cactus arms. Check back to your knees and try to make sure that they're even, and then spin again. With your next breath, you're going to press left fingertips across the right thigh, right fingertips reaching up and open. One breath here. And then inhale. Come back to center. Good. Exhale, fold. Folding forward at the top of your mat. Allowing the crown of the head to reach down towards the floor. Fingertips reaching towards the floor. If they do not easily come down to the mat, no worries. They can rest on the shins or even the thighs. You might even give yourself a squeeze and bow the head over. Just making sure that the arms aren't dangling, right? This is really bad for the low back. So we want to make sure that they're touching something. With your next breath. Slowly rising up, you're going to bend the knees a lot and drop the hips all the way back. Begin to bring the torso tall and extend the arms out in front of your back in Utkatasana. One more time into that warrior three. Transfer your body weight onto the right side and kick back with that left leg. As I lose my balance. Yes, inhales, exhales. Good, again. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more. Return the left foot down to the floor. Have a seat. And then exhale, fold forward, palms down. Both feet will step backwards. Good. Knees, chest, and chin coming through. We're going to play around with that cobra. I'm going to switch back so you can see my arms. Fingertips like little spiders, right? Little spiders are little tents out on the floor. You're going to press into just the beds of the fingers and lift. Yeah. Allowing the torso to come all the way up. Take a breath. And then exhale and slowly release. Legs stay really active throughout the whole entire thing. Moving the hands, fingertips to right by the chest. Elbows go up. Engage the bum, and when you're ready, draw the torso up, pressing into just the beds of the fingers. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. And then slowly release. Excellent. Pausing for a moment, and then when you're ready, press through the palms. Pressing through the palms and finding your way all the way back into that downward facing dog. Doing whatever feels best to you here, taking a breath. And then when you're ready, stepping that left foot forward, reaching with the arms, torso really tall. Heels are down, pressing firmly, exhale the hands into that cactus shape. Taking that cacti shape and opening up. Good, big rotation as much as you can, trying to keep that 90 degrees in those arms. Woo, yeah, as much as you possibly can. Take a breath. Good, inhale. Bring it back to center, reach with the arms. And then take a step up to the front. I'll show you from the side this time. Standing and then sitting into Utkatasana. Exhaling the hands to prayer. Placing the palms together and twisting open. Using nothing but the musculature in the torso. Check back with those knees. Make sure they're even. And then open up just a little bit more. Good. Inhaling. Exhaling, add the arm, right arm across the left thigh. Left arm goes up. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Back to center and fold forward. Holding into that Uttanasana shape, allowing the fingertips to make themselves to the floor. Remember, if they don't touch easily, totally fine to hang on to the shins or even the thighs. If they do touch easily, you're going to lift your feet and place your palms underneath the feet so that you are actually standing onto your hands. You can give yourself a nice little massage both ways, feet and palms, and then you can play around with it. Bend the elbows, bend the knees, bend the elbows, bend the knees, and then whatever feels best to you, maybe one leg, maybe the other. Good, maybe moving it around, so kind of shifting side to side, and you'll feel how the hands change underneath the feet, kind of a funky sensation. Good, one more. And then slowly release. Awesome, bend the knees a lot. Coming one last time into that Utkatasana, have a seat. Draw the hips and reach the arms. Breathing here. Beautiful, strong through that torso. Drawing the belly button in. And exhale, fold. Palms go down, feet step back. Let's play with that funky cobra again, knees to the floor. Drawing all the way through. Good, sliding. Both arms are gonna come out, find those little tents, those little spiders, just the pads of the fingers. Allow the body to press and come up super tall. Really active through that upper back, take a breath. And then exhale, slowly release. Nice work. Fingertips right by the chest, elbows go up, kind of like a praying mantis of sorts. Good, draw the elbows in, shoulders back, press with the fingertips, and allow the torso to come up. Beautiful. Inhale, and exhale, planting the palms, and finding your way all the way back to downward facing dog. Once you've found your way back into that downward facing dog, taking a breath here again, doing whatever feels best for your body in this shape. And then we'll start our last standing series, sort of a modified shape. So bringing that right foot forward, stepping the right foot all the way to the front and allowing the back knee, so that left knee to come down to the mat. Please feel free to fold the mat over, allowing more support under the knee, or fold it in from the sides. Either one is totally fine. Right foot is going to go forward. Left toes are tucked under for stability. And when you're ready, you're going to reach with fingertips all the way up and towards the ceiling. Super strong through that front foot, allowing the fingertips to come up and out. And then when you're ready, finding that exhale into that cactus shape, just like we've taken before, reaching around to the right side. So opening up and twisting to the right, pausing for a moment and holding that shape. And then when you're ready, releasing the left palm across the right thigh and reaching back with the right fingertips. Full reach here, big twist coming through that torso. And then seeing if you can hold your twist and press off that back leg. So now both legs are up and off of the mat. Torso's reaching around. Take one last inhale. Good. Exhaling, come back to center. And then release down to the floor. You can place the knee back down onto the mat. Inhaling a lot, getting really, really long. Exhaling, fingertips to the small of the back. Pausing here just for a moment. So not going into a super deep back bend, just simply holding this space and feeling the stretch through the front side of that left thigh. Good. Pausing for a moment. And then coming forward, bringing the palms to the inside edge of the front foot, allowing the body to release. So drawing the hips actively forward. And then slowly coming off. One last shape. This time making sure that both sides are at 90 degrees. So 90 degrees with the back knee and 90 degrees in the front knee. You're going to press into the right thigh with that right palm and reach up and back with the left fingertips. The goal here is to engage the glutes on that left side and press the hips forward as you bow back with that one arm. If that does not feel good to you, you are more than welcome to keep your hand on your hip or place the fingertips on the small of the back. Either one is totally fine. Take a few breaths here. Inhale a lot. Exhale. One more. And then slowly release. Coming forward, placing the palms onto the floor, lifting the back leg, and when you're ready, stepping the foot all the way through. Good. Taking the knees down to the mat, knees, chest, and chin. Finding that shape here. We'll come up into a fuller cobra shape. So placing the palms right next to the chest, pointing the toes, engaging the backside. And when you're ready, pressing up just slightly. Yeah, so getting really active through that upper back. Neck is long. Inhale. And exhale, fully release. Palms go down, toes tuck under, and press and find that downward facing dog. Once you've found that downward facing dog, doing whatever feels best for you, taking a big inhale and a full exhale, feeling the release up the back of the body, and then stepping the left leg up into the front. Left foot comes forward, right knee comes back and down. Enjoying the stretch there, nice and open through those hips. Yeah, you can leave the hands on either side of the foot or bring them to the inside. Not a huge difference here. Good. Just enjoying that stretch through the hips, and then when you're ready, you're going to keep the back knee down and allow the torso to come up. So big, long stretch here, reaching up for the sky, super strong through the base, really strong through that front leg, leaning up and open. And then exhale and take those arms out to that cacti shape. Squeezing the shoulder blades down and back, and then rotating over. Good. Big sweep. Trying to open up as much as possible, kind of like a mime in his box. Yeah, good. Big rotation. Inhale and exhale, and then release. Right arm is going to come over that left knee, and left fingertips reach back and behind. Inhaling. Good. Keeping that twist. When you're ready, you're going to push up and off that back leg. Beautiful. Deepening the stretch, deepening the strength through the legs. Take a breath. Amazing. And then release. Inhaling. Whew. Inhaling all the way back to the front. And then exhaling. Slowly release. Good. Exhaling, coming back to the center. Allowing the back knee to come back down to the floor. Remembering that the toes tucked under is a little more stability. If you put the foot flat, it actually challenges the balance just a little bit more. Excellent. When you're ready, you can enjoy a little stretch if that feels okay for you. So leaning forward, just bringing those hips forward just a touch more, right? We're trying to lengthen that front body. And then when you're ready, keeping the back knee down on the mat, inhaling and reaching all the way up, exhaling and placing the palms on the back side of the thighs, right up near the glute, small of the back, or fingers facing down. Either one is totally fine. Good, and then drawing those elbows together, opening up the chest, broadening across those shoulders, engaging the glutes, and just enjoying a teeny tiny baby back bend here. Gorgeous. Slowly releasing here, and then coming onto all fours so that both knees are bent and at 90 degrees. So we really want to keep that 90 degrees from both hips because we're going to try to get a deep stretch to the front side of that right thigh. Right, so keeping that shape, left fingertips can come to the left hip, and then when you're ready, you're going to press the hips forward, engaging the glutes, and draw up and through with those right fingertips. Pushing the hips forward just ever so slightly, you begin to feel that deeper stretch. If it feels better for you to keep the hands on the hip or behind, that is totally fine, right? Otherwise, adding those fingertips, and the goal being that you feel that huge stretch to the front side of the right body. One more full breath. And then exhale. And slowly release. Both palms coming down, tucking the toes, lifting the back leg, and then stepping that left foot back, taking it through your last vinyasa here. So knees and chest. Coming all the way through. Palms are by the chest, pointed toes, engage the back side, gently pressing into the palms, and use the strength of the back to come all the way up. Beautiful. When you're ready, exhaling, palms down, tuck the toes under, push and up. Finding that last downward facing dog. And doing whatever feels good to you in this shape. As you pause to notice maybe how the body feels different than your first down dog, right? And so just kind of checking in without any judgment. Observing, watching, and noticing. There are no shoulds. It just is what happened. And allowing that to be true for your body. When you're ready, slowly bringing your knees down to the floor. Allow your hips to move back towards your heels and extend the fingertips out long. Taking a child's pose and pausing for a moment. With your next inhale, slowly bring your attention forward, drawing the body, the hips, the shoulders, all the way forward, and then swinging the legs out in front. We'll do a few forward folds here, this time with a wide stance. So if you remember during video 1, we did some forward folds with the legs together. We're gonna open those thighs up, getting even more into the inner thighs, and so allowing that stretch to spread across. Good. And so you're going to start with those hands down in the front or in the back. Either one is totally fine. Same thing. So the feet are going to flex. The toes are going to point straight up towards the sky. The legs are super strong here. And then when you're ready, you're going to keep that firm plant of the palms and lean forward without anything going anywhere, right? Until you feel like you have reached your edge. So until you feel like you can't go any further in this shape, making sure that the toes stay pointed up towards the sky as much as you possibly can. And then when you're ready, when that feels okay, your body is telling you that there's a little bit more space left to be had, you can slowly walk the hands out in front. Super slow and steady. Again, feeling like those hips are actually anchors pulling you backwards as you reach forward with the palms. Super slow and gentle. So the chest might eventually, someday, if it's not there already, come down to the floor. But that is not actually the ultimate goal, right? We want the body to get really long and to actually engage just slightly through the stretch. Good. And so staying really active. Remember, you totally have the option to stay right here. And if you are feeling a deep stretch through your inner thighs, the undersides of the legs, the hamstrings, then you are more than welcome to stay in that shape. You're going to play around with it. Taking a big full breath here. Inhale up. Exhale. Good. And then you can slowly walk yourself back in from whatever shape that you're in. We're going to turn our attention to one side. So you're reaching over to one side. You're going to fold the body, the torso, towards that knee almost exclusively, or at least as much as you can. And we're going to reach over towards that side. So you might start by just reaching the fingertips towards the toes, and that's totally fine. If they don't come to the toes, you've got a thigh, you've got a shin or a calf to grab onto as well. And you're just reaching down and over. If that feels okay, you're going to turn and actually tuck that arm underneath and then reach over with the opposite arm. Yeah, so extending just a little bit more, and now you've got that deep stretch up this side of the body. Let me move over just a little bit so you can see slightly. Excellent. And so you're reaching here, yep, and then you're going to flip it all the way around. Maybe reaching for those toes if they're there. If not, then just keep the arm all the way up towards the sky, and that's totally fine. Inhales and exhales. Good, knowing that you always have the option to stay leaning over that one leg, right? One more breath here. Inhale a lot. And then slowly bring yourself up. So now we'll turn over to the other side and bowing over, seeing what's there. Noticing that sometimes in the body, it acts as if there are actually two different people inside that one body that you have, right? And that comes from the various activities that we do throughout the day, how our body was taught to operate, and especially if we do any kind of work that involves heavily more on one side than the other. Good. And then if you're looking for more, if your body is asking for more, that arm tucks underneath, right? You can actually even reach for the opposite side thigh if that feels good. And then bowing over, up and over and through. Good, reaching all the way over. So totally fine to leave the fingertips up towards the sky, sending the gaze that way if that feels good. Or maybe reaching over and around, grabbing onto that foot. Remember, the goal is that you're feeling a stretch. So if you're moving into a space and you're struggling into that space, it's probably actually not the best stretch for you. You want to feel as if the body is relaxing into the space and opening up, as opposed to sort of gritting your teeth, right? And forcing the body into that space. Good, lovely. Taking a breath here. And then let's just come back to center one last time. And then when you're ready, walking it all the way out. Whatever feels best to you, the toes are really active, the legs are really long, and you're just leaning forward, just gently until you feel that stretch through the inner thighs. Good, beautiful. Walking all the way back up. And if it helps, you can use your hands. Come back to a seated space. We're gonna just stretch out those shoulders real quick. So inhale and reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, fingertips interlace, draw the palms up. Good, you're gonna bring the arms back behind you as much as you can, opening up here, and then just bow side to side. Stretch out those shoulders, the underneath of the shoulders. Good, bowing back, and then you're gonna bow forward. So actually reaching the arms out in front of you and rounding the back. Let me show you from the side so that you can see, yeah? The arms are gonna come out in front and you're actually gonna round the back, yes, and pull the arms away from you. Play around with the hands, see what works best for you. Maybe it's opposite wrist, maybe it's interlacing the fingers, maybe it's rounding, whatever feels best. Take a breath. Take one more. Good, and then slowly come back up. Awesome. We'll finish with just rolling out those shoulders. So releasing the arms down beside you and fully let that go. Yeah, good. Both sides. Good. So when you're ready, we'll rock and roll down to the floor. You're gonna hug those knees in and we're just gonna roll all the way back to the shoulders and then back to the hips. Again, if this does not feel good for you, no worries. You can always just lay down and I'll meet you down there in just a moment. Amazing. Good, and then you can find your way down there, releasing all the way through. Legs are really, really long. Good, and then once you get down there, you can find your way into Happy Baby. We'll go there before heading into our Shavasana. So let's actually do a little Happy Baby prep. So legs are together, thighs are together. You're gonna place the palms on the shins, making sure they're not actually on the knees. On the shins, and you're gonna draw those thighs open just slightly. Good, if you feel like you need support, you're gonna bend your elbows and let them rest on the floor, and then allow your thighs to rest into your hands. And now you can play with how much you open up the legs or not, right? Sometimes that inner thigh space can be really, really tender. We don't wanna move too quickly. The body doesn't appreciate that. But if it feels okay and you're actually asking for more, you can release those elbows, take the hands on the inside edges of the thighs, and then allow the palms to actually help open up. And then when that feels pretty satisfactory, then you can bring the heels up and the soles of the feet up towards the sky, grabbing onto the outside edges of the feet. And doing whatever feels good to you here. So maybe rocking back and forth, Maybe moving the leg side to side, bending one and then bending the other one. Any other shape that feels good to you at this point, and we'll move into Shavasana. So finding the breath and then slowly releasing. Everything goes down. So allow the legs to be long. Allow the palms to be down by your hips, turning them to face up towards the sky. Let the feet flop open and allow the eyes to close. Breath will settle here, and we'll pause for just a few moments. Slowly bringing your awareness back into the room. Begin to wiggle your toes and move your hands. Allow the breath to deepen, and with your next inhale, slowly roll to one side, supporting the head with the bottom arm and pausing for a moment. Using the top arm to press into the mat, coming back to a seated space, either crossing the legs or extending them out in front, and then allowing the palms to rest on the thighs. Pausing for a moment here. Pausing to check in with yourself and free of judgment. Allow yourself to observe and simply watch whatever sensations happen to be coming up for you, physical or otherwise. Simply let them be. With your next inhale, reach the arms all the way up and overhead. Allowing the palms to come together, the fingertips touch, and then exhale down through your center, floating the hands to the heart. Pausing one last time here, this time for a space of gratitude, to genuinely thank yourself and to thank your body for your practice today. And we'll end today's practice by saying, the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in video 3. Bye.